In less than 2 months, I will be celebrating my 7th year in Switzerland. I arrived here in 2013 at the age of 26, thinking that I would just stay a couple of months just to learn German and then go back to Italy. After 3 months, I realized that this time was not sufficient to learn German. That is why I started looking for a job, for an apartment, I registered at the authorities, and then I got my permit B to be able to officially live in Switzerland. In these 7 years, I've changed a lot. And not only because of my age, but because I've been influenced by the Swiss mentality and habits. There are a lot of things that I started doing because all people here are doing that, and I'm sure some other things I would do differently if I was still living in Italy. I didn't realize that the Swiss habits changed my life so much until I watched the video of Mon Amie. She's a Portuguese girl living in Oslo, and in one of her recent videos, Things I'm Doing Differently Since I Moved to Norway, she tells about all the things that she's starting doing because of moving to Norway. Some of the things that she tells in her video apply to me as well. That is why in this video I will tell you the things that I do differently since I moved to Switzerland. The first thing that I do is taking off my shoes when I enter the house. Every time you enter a house in Switzerland, being your house or a friend's house, you're always invited to take off your shoes in the entrance. It's not a written rule and no one will really tell you to take off your shoes, but all the people here do that. A lot of people will have a little basket in the entrance where there are all these different house shoes that you can take when entering the house. In Italy, we're not used to do that and we just walk with our shoes inside the house. This is something that my mom struggles a lot when she comes to visit me. She doesn't see why she should take off her shoes in the entrance. This is one of the habits that I really like about Switzerland. I think that is a lot more hygienic that you leave your shoes with which you walked outside in the entrance and you have clean flip-flops to walk around the house. Another thing that I started doing since I'm living in Switzerland is drinking tap water. I don't buy bottled water anymore at the supermarket. I just have glass bottles and then I fill them in under the sink. Swiss water is actually very good and clean, so I save on plastic because I don't use plastic bottles anymore. I just use this glass bottle. I have a glass bottle for home, I have a glass bottle for the office, so overall you save money and you do something good for the environment. In Italy, this would not have been possible. Sometimes the water that comes out from the sink has a weird yellowish color, so I wouldn't try to do that at home. Oh, and remember to drink 2 liters a day. Another thing that I do since I live in Switzerland is using the public transportation only. I don't drive since 7 years basically. I drive every now and then when I go back to Italy because there where I live public transportation is zero. Like, I think that there is a bus every hour to the city center and that takes 45 minutes to 1 hour and it's like a few kilometers away. So in Italy, public transportation is not good at all. In Switzerland, you can go anywhere with buses, tram, trains. You can even reach the peak of the mountain with public transportation. I have this. This is an annual pass. Basically, is a kind of a ticket which allows me to take every single mean of transportation in Switzerland for free. I mean, free. I pay 335 Swiss francs a month for this thing. So with this, you don't have to do a ticket every time you need to get on a bus or on a train. You just take whatever bus, whatever train in the whole Switzerland, so it doesn't matter on the city. This allows you to go on any kind of transportation, meaning also boats, funiculars. There are some transportation means, which are not entirely public, but you need to pay for them. But if you have this ticket, you will end up paying a bit less. In Switzerland, you have the GEA, which is this ticket that I have, but you also have the half fare, which is another ticket very similar to this one, where every kind of ticket on every kind of mean of transportation, you will end up paying only half of it. Overall, I really like Swiss public transportation. The trains are almost never late. Like sometimes it happens that there are some minutes late, even half an hour, 45 minutes. It happened to me last week, but at least you have trains at almost any hour of the day. In Italy, like I think the last train is at 10. After that, it's a disaster. In Italy, trains have always delays, and I always end up waiting a very long time for my connection. So overall, nothing to say about Switzerland. They have the best public transport ever. Another thing that has changed drastically since I live in Switzerland are my eating habits. I come from Italy, so you basically eat pasta every day, you eat meat, you eat pizza every Saturday evening. Italy has a very big food culture. We are very proud of our food, and being very proud of our food means that it is very difficult for us to try other kind of foods. That is something that I started doing a lot since I moved to Switzerland. Not really in a conscious way, but because here food from other countries is a lot more well integrated than in Italy. You can find everywhere different kind of restaurants. In the supermarkets, you find a lot more international food. That is why this has become quite normal in my everyday life. Sometimes I will eat pasta, sometimes I will eat rice with curry, sometimes I will eat fried rice. This has become a lot more normal, to the point that when I was discussing with my friends back in Italy, like, oh, what are you eating today? And I would say, oh, I'm eating probably an avocado toast. They would be like, what are you eating? My mom was very curious about this avocado, so she just bought an avocado at the supermarket because I was keep telling her I was having avocado toast or avocado toast with salmon, and then she bought this avocado, but she bought a very hard avocado. It was not ready to be eaten yet, and she just ate it like this, like she thought it was a kind of a fruit. So I see that was funny to see in my family. They start changing their habits too a little bit. As a result of this, I started also buying a lot more prep food, like prepared dishes like rice with curry or some prepared soup. First of all, because I'm alone, so sometimes I don't really want to cook for myself only, and second, because it's something that does not belong to the Italian cuisine, so it's very hard for me to do that. And also, I'm not really into cooking. I know, I'm not a typical Italian. Something that has also changed a lot compared to Italy is that I consume early meals, which means that I have my breakfast around 6:30 when I work in Basel and 5:30 when I work in Zurich. Then I will have my lunch at 12:00. I just wait for noontime to eat, like my belly is starving by that time. Sometimes I'm really tempted to eat at 11:30, and then I will consume my dinner between 5 and 6 p.m. So it is 5:45 and I am starving. I'm so hungry. Let's see what's in the fridge. I like this a lot because if I consume an early dinner, then I have time to go to the gym at 7:30, 8 in the evening, and also because if I eat something heavier, I have time to digest it before going to bed. Now when I go back to Italy, we, for example, go out and eat pizza at 8:30 in the evening, and then at 11 I go to bed, that I feel so full and I sleep very bad. Overall, it's weird for me to say, but I do miss Italian food, but not that much. I'm not that kind of person that eats pasta every day right now. I don't really eat pasta very often, and if I had to choose between a plate of pasta or a plate of rice, with curry, that would be a difficult choice on Sundays. The only thing that I miss from Italy is pizza every Saturday night. I mean, over there in Italy, it's a culture. So on Saturday nights, you go out with your friends and then you go eat pizza, then you go to drink something or to go to the cinema or you go to the bowling. Here, pizza is a lot more expensive, so I'm not gonna eat pizza every Saturday evening. There are, of course, a lot more things that I do differently since I moved to Switzerland, so stay tuned for my next video. Thank you very much, Mon Amie, for giving me the idea of this video. I will have her channel and her video link below. Thank you very much for watching the first part of things that I do differently since I moved to Switzerland, and stay tuned to know how I drink my coffee now that I moved to Switzerland. Bye!